Hey y'all, welcome back. And I know it's been a while since I made a video or anything of the sort, but I'm back. And if this is your first time here, just welcome. I wanted to try something different or go back to what I did before because I feel like this is me. This is more of what I want to do as far as how I want to present myself to everyone or whoever needs to come across my video or needs to hear the message or messages that I have for the collective or what have you. So, hi guys, welcome or welcome back. So, today, or should I say in this video or podcast or whatever you want to call it, the first thing I heard was lightheartedness. So I wanted to break that word down, heartedness, because it spoke something to me, because I could relate to exactly what's going on with love. And I feel like this could be what's going on with some of you. It could either be 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter how many people. But I feel like this is something that needs to be brought to the attention of the collective. So when I broke down this word, I heard he hears the art of your love. And before I get into the message, I wrote this down, I want to say about 2-3 weeks ago. And when I wrote this down, I didn't really understand what that meant. There's something within that message that stuck out to me. He hears the art of your love. So whoever I'm talking to, it doesn't have to be male or female. It's just the energy that I felt when I wrote this down, that whoever you're dealing with or will be dealing with, they hear you and they've heard you. They know you. They feel you. Not even in the physical. They feel you in the spiritual. So with that being said, I have my notes here so I don't get lost in too much into what I want to say or how I want to say it. I'm just trying something new. This is also what I received in a download in that time frame between 2 to 3 weeks ago till now. So let's get into it. So the first thing I heard was being someone with a good heart isn't easy. Now, what I mean by that is, it's not to say, oh, you're always nice or you're always kind to people, or even when you're in love, you just give out full love. That could be a part of it, of course, don't get me wrong. But what that actually means to me specifically is, when it comes to love, most of the time, what you want as a person isn't or is not with the same thing that the other person that you're in a relationship with or in a connection with, what they need. Because when it comes to you, you probably want someone who's loyal, kind, sweet, honest, and so forth. And the other person, they want that too, but only for a short period of time. It has something to do with what they want for that time being, not as far as what you want for a long time. So that's probably why your relationships haven't been the greatest, or you haven't been in those relationships you see on social media or what you hear about, love stories, the movies, the songs. That's what you want, but you haven't experienced that yet. And someone who actually has a good heart where they want that cannot be with people who need the love for a short period of time. There's a difference between needing and wanting, and what you want is different than what someone actually needs, because they need it to heal something that they don't know that they need to do. And even though you might need to heal as well, it's a different way that you're looking at it. And I also heard when you're in tune with your heart, you can invite love in, either good or bad, with addictions and warmth. That's what I meant with both of you. Like, I'm just saying both of you because your connection with the person that you're with, or, you know, could have been with or in a relationship with, as far as like addictions and or, you know, the warmth of the love. Like, you crave it so bad that you are attracting things that shouldn't be, how do I say this? You attract things that might trigger you where you're supposed to. I want to say supposed to because that's something that you, I don't want to say shouldn't, but you shouldn't be, you know, that you should, I should say should heal from. Like, let's say for instance, your person is triggering you when it comes to showing affection, or, you know, or just growing in general. That should make you want to either, especially if you really want a relationship or like a love that you've craved for so long, it should, I want to use the word should very lightly, move you to becoming a better version of yourself, to receive the love that you crave, that you prayed for, that you always wanted. I hope that makes sense, and it will make sense to the ones that resonates with this message. So another message that I received was, it's easy to set boundaries with love, so you know your limit, especially if not committed. So when you know your worth, when you know you love yourself to the fullest, when you finally realize that you're done setting your standards to the lowest of the lows, you know where that line has been crossed when someone doesn't respect your boundaries or what you set up as what you want from love in general, or what you want from a person or a connection in general. Like, that first feeling that you get from a person, always trust it. Of course, it's very cliche of me to say trust a person when they show you who they are the first time, of course, but that's really sticks out, and someone needs to hear that, because I've always thought it was very corny for people to say, but it's actually very true. This person, this connection, this whoever it is, they or you could have been with, I want to say, I feel like it's in the past, or it could be in the present, but could be like something that's coming up soon, that this person that you are with or have been with, that they're not someone you thought that they were, in a way where you felt like they could have been a long-term relationship or someone you could call yourself marrying if you believe in that. This person is someone you probably were with for a while, or could have been someone you thought was your person, but you found out, or you've been finding out, that they've been showing you who they really are and where they really stand with you, because they're not willing to grow with you. And another thing before I move on is what really stuck with me with learning how to move on from people in general, not even relationships, is you meet, I know people you probably heard this before, but I love it because it's so true. You meet people where you are at in the moment. But once you're willing to grow and that other person is not growing with you, they're still where you were when you met them, and you've grown. So it's time to let them go. So that's really stuck with me as well, because it's like that person that you're with, I'm speaking in general, that person that you're with, they are who you were when you first met them. And you know you can't take that person with you. As much as you love this person, as much as you've been through with this person, as much as you've encountered with this person, no matter if you're married or you've been married to this person, or that you were engaged or you are engaged with this person, no matter what the circumstances are, it's okay to let them go, because there's always someone better for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be someone. It can also mean something could be better for you as well, because a person can block your blessings, whether it is another person, a job, a lifestyle, a health condition. They could be the block in your life that's keeping you staying in that stagnant situation that you're in, to receiving anything that you want to flourish in your life. Not to say that they're a bad person, but to saying that you're not in that same space or energy or frequency you were in when you first met them. And it's okay to grow from a person, people, place, or thing. This situation could be a thing or a situation in your life. Doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship, but I feel like it is a relationship. So the next message that I got was, most of the time it is about want versus need with love. Some need it and some just simply just want it. So I feel like the ones that need it, the people that need it, no matter if you're a man or a woman, if you need it, love is something you didn't receive as a child. Not per se a child, but it could be teenage years, young adult years, or when you were younger, you never received it, so you needed to fill that void in you. And then for the people that want it, it may be the same thing, but you want it because you never had it before, and you crave it to the point where you want to give it out to people who need it, because that's what you having a big heart is about. You giving it out to people who need it, and that's what's you're attracting, people that need it because you want to give it out. But that's where most of us, I say us because I've been in this situation as well, and I'm still learning. Of course, you learn something new every day about yourself, but that's where most of us get stuck at. We feel like the people that we meet are where we are as far as what we want, we think they want the same thing. They might want the same thing, of course, for the time being, but it's not for everyone. But this is for probably a small collective of you, a small portion of you, I should say. That's probably why, like, you've been getting wronged in your relationships, because of you're tolerating that no matter what. And it feels like when you tolerate that, you're not setting that boundary with those people or that person, letting them know, hey, that bothers me. But in reality, that's what you want, someone to respect you and give you exactly what you want. But you have to voice that. You have to speak that out to them. Hey, I want this, this, and this, in a way where they can not really comprehend what you want, because of course we might think that they want the same thing, but they don't. But you'll know that once you start feeling that feeling of, okay, they're not mine. Well, not, I didn't mean to say mine, but of course they can't be yours if they're not yours, if that makes sense. But you'll know the difference once you know that you're tired of giving your love out and putting it back into yourself, and actually knowing that when you set boundaries with people, the real ones, the real people, the person that you actually want will respect the boundary that you set up, because they know that your standards are so high they can't break it down for you to actually want to be in a relationship with them. And they know that, because they have the same standards. So the person that you'll be with will have the exact same standards, where they know where the line is crossed, or where it's gonna, matter. And it'll come with ease, and it'll come with comfort, and it'll come with something that is meant for union. And you can also come up with your own assumption or definition of want versus needs. It's not always a one thing when it comes to wanting and needing. There's multiple needs for money, multiple wants for money, multiple needs for good health, multiple wants for good health, and so forth. The next download that I got is, usually when one needs it, they love the temporarily feeling. They need it when it's convenient for them. And that's what I was saying. Like, they need it for that time being, because they want to fill that void in them, but they don't want to heal and move on from the pain from the past, or do that growth from knowing, okay, I'm fine with being by myself. I don't need a relationship to heal or waste another person's time, because I choose not to heal and just, move forward with that. Because most people do that. They'll try to, that's where a lot of people, I'm not a guru or expert in relationships, but this is just what I feel when I was meditating on these messages for this message, for this collective that it reaches. That most people, they waste so much time because they've never been in that situation where they had to heal. That it could be 1, 2, 3 different things that they have to heal within them, and they don't know they need to heal it, but there's something in them that they know that that person is not their person, but they'll stay in the relationship because of the years, the time spent together, and what happened, to them being married or being together for that long. And then they'll end up ending that relationship because of how much they'll tolerate or won't tolerate from that person, because of that person being where they used to be, because they're choosing to grow from that toxic or undeserving love that they don't want anymore. Or not really undeserving love, but the love quote unquote love that they thought that they wanted, because that's where they were that time, where they either in the relationship, the divorce, the engagement, because they decide to grow from that time period, from them breaking up or leaving that person. It was their time to grow as a person, as a woman, as a man, and step into something that's 10 times better for them. So, and the last thing that I did receive was when one simply wants it, it's all the time of the love. I believe that's what it says. I'm not sure. I wrote this kind of fast. I don't know why I wrote the last part fast, but I think what I was trying to say is when someone wants it like you do, it's all about the timing of when it'll come in for you to love. So like I was saying about that time when it could be you, or, you know, whatever the case may be, it could be you. Whenever you break up or leave a situation, it's your subconscious, conscious, and unconscious mind making up that it's time for you to level up in a way. And this isn't to say that because most people they find the same type of person in another person, even though the person looks different. It's not to say that. It's just it kind of, to me, in my opinion, it kind of like run into one another, because it's like, okay, you tolerated this from this person, now let's see if you will tolerate this or whatever else add on to that person, if you'll tolerate this and this and this from this other person, this next person that you come in contact with. You said you don't want this. Now let me give you an example. Let's say you want someone that's loyal, friendly, and kind and sweet, or whatever you want. Let's say that. So in order to get someone who's loyal, sweet, kind, and so forth, you meet someone who is, you know, a cheater, a liar, and a sneak. So you deal with the liar, cheater, and sneak, and then let's say 3 years later, you in that situation. Okay, boom, you're done with that, because you're done tolerating that mess from this person. That was your lesson to learn from this person. Now you go on to the next person. Let's say 4 months later, you meet someone else. It's the exact same person you met before, that you met 2-3 years ago, and this new person you met 4 months later. So you move on to this person. Okay, you're done being with someone who's a liar, a sneak, and a cheater. But this person now, he or she, flip the roles how they fit, is addicted to, let's say, drugs, and they are abusive, like mentally abusive. So you stay with this person because you think they'll change. You think it'll go better because one day they apologize. It'll be back and forth apologizing, but they're still doing drugs, or you know, saying rude, mean things to you, about your life, about what you're doing, and you're tolerating that. So you continue to be in this relationship, let's say for another 2 years, and then you leave this relationship 2 years later, and then you meet another man, you know, after that, or another woman after that, and they're, you know, let's say they're lazy, they never have a job, or they're very let's say that they're a liar, and they're very lazy. Let's say that, and they, you know, don't work, they don't like to work, they don't like to clean up, they don't like to cook, type of thing. And then you stay with them because you could pick up all the slack. This is where you come, okay, let's say you meet this person that's a liar and lazy, and they don't like to clean, cook. Let's say you meet them a year later from your last person. you deal with them for, let's say, 9 months, you in that relationship. Okay, you're doing relationships. Now you have to pinpoint. Not saying that this has to be the exact dynamic of your situation, but now you have to pinpoint why those people, even in between those people, you could have been pinpointing why they came into your life. Even if you don't and you stay by yourself and you're confident enough to stay by yourself, you can pinpoint why they came into your life. What was the reason? What was it about them that you have to figure out what's in you that you have to work on, and what it is that you have to do to attract that person that you want, that's loyal, friendly, kind, sweet, and honest with you. How do you attract that person? I don't have all the answers, but it's like you first have to love yourself enough to know that it's okay to let these people go and not waste any more time and energy on people that don't need your energy, because they don't. It's okay to be alone. I'm speaking from experience, of course. And then another thing is, like I said, it's okay to be alone, and knowing that it's okay to be alone. Not just saying, oh, I can be alone, but you're never alone. You're always out or, doing stuff with other people, and you don't have no time for yourself. And that can be a problem in itself, but that's for that's a conversation for another day. But you have to understand why that person, even that those people were in your life. What are they showing in them that you can work on in your life, in your energy, in your field, in your experience, that you have to work on in you? Because everyone outside of you is you, in a reflection of you, basically. And you have to understand that it's okay to accept that for what it is. Or whatever triggers you that people do, what is it in them that triggered you? Or what is it that they said triggered you, so you can fix that? Is it jealousy? Is it fear? Is it not being able to stick up for yourself? What is it in them that triggered you? It could be things like what's in them that made you feel like you couldn't speak up for yourself. What's in them that made you feel like you couldn't set that boundary? What's in them or these people that makes you angry or makes you sad or makes you overthink a lot? What is it that's in them that will help you grow as a person, a man or woman, to the best of your ability to succeed in your life, not theirs, to show up for yourself, not for them, and to accept yourself for who you are, and not give people what they want or tell people what they want to hear, because that's something that you used to do. Step out of that old time frame, that old timeline, and work on what you need out of yourself to actually get what you want out of life, out of love, out of whatever it is in your life and what you are asking for. And trust me, once you do that, not telling you what to do or like making you do something you don't want to do, but it's just something that, a select group of people are willing to sacrifice, not even sacrifice, are willing to do to elevate in life because they're tired. If you're tired like me, you're willing to do whatever it is to take, whatever it's going to take to make your life better by trying to pinpoint those triggers. Because me, I'm trying to pinpoint those triggers that and every person in my life. Like, what is it? Right now, I'm trying to do that, to love on myself. And I hope that I get people to realize that it's okay to be alone, and to fix yourself, to recognize those things that hurt you, and to recognize those things that make you feel some type of way. It's okay to feel it, don't get me wrong, but you have to know why it made you feel that way, to grow from it, to then the next time, because of course there won't be a one time, it's not a one-time thing. The next time that something or something similar happens, you'll know how to manage it, you'll know how to control it, and you'll know how to overcome it, because you already been there, you already did it, you already experienced it. You'll know how to control it. That's the only word I'm hearing is control. Right now I'm hearing control, because you control your feelings. Don't let your feelings control you. That's what I heard as well. So, working on growing yourself as a person and moving away from those people, that person, that thing, that job, or whatever the case may be, into someone that's, you move away from them and you're moving into something that'll center you to yourself, your quietness, your peace, your love, your loyalty to yourself. And then, you attract what you are, which is another cliche thing to say, because I used to hear it a lot. I used to say it as well. I used to be like, you attract who you are, but that was like a couple years ago. I knew what it meant, but I didn't necessarily know the true meaning of it. Like, you attract who you are, but it's really true. Like, you really do attract who you are at that moment. You want to be a trash person, you're going to attract trash people. You want to be nasty and lazy and gossiping, you're going to attract people that's lazy, gossiping, and all those things. You're going to attract those type of people. You want to be loving, caring, and sweet, you're going to attract people that's loving, caring, and sweet, and so on. That's exactly what it means, but in a deeper meaning, that's another conversation for another day. Or should I say a different conversation for another day? I might get into that, but I don't know yet. But yes, you attract who you are, and that's the icing on the cake. So be exactly who you want to attract by actually doing the work to attract those people, to attract that thing, to attract that money that you want. Be the money, be the feeling of everything that you want. Do the work when it comes to what it is that you want to attract. And that's another conversation that I want to talk about, is actually the work that you have to do to get there. But we'll see down the line where that goes. But I just want to say thank you guys for staying, if you did stay for this long. This is something new that I wanted to do or go back to, but in a different light, a different being on how I wanted to present myself, instead of like having a set goal, because I don't have a goal right now, and I don't plan on having a goal. My only goal is to reach to the people who are meant to hear this message, or see this video, or hear my voice. And my voice is kind of cracking right now, because I've been talking for the last 34 minutes, 35 minutes, and I need to get a drink of water. And I hope that you have an amazing day, night, or whenever you watch this or hear my voice. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video or podcast, or whatever you want to call it.